Hey there, just wanted to say that this video was a little bit different. Didn't exactly have a script going on it, but I just wanted to get it out there and talk about it, just do something kind of like that. I didn't really have any idea. It was just something that was itching my brain and I wanted to get out there. There's something that was just going through me and I was just thinking about it. It's like I always strive to try and be the best in what I do, like be it cooking, doing my job, or just cleaning, even perhaps, or just trying to make YouTube videos per se. I always try to be the best, do it the best. Which, I mean, granted, the one thing I will not be the best at, and I know that, is video editing, but that's because I'm just starting out, I don't have a whole lot. I mean, if you'll notice, well, you won't, but I will, as this video in and of itself is an example of me always learning things because I'm changing how I do OBS and make it work in the way that best fits me. But the thing is, I always strive to be the best in what I do. Uh, and it's a weird thing that I have to acknowledge because I know I will never be the best because I don't want to be the best. And yet I still strive to be the best in everything I can. Like when I'm cooking like a pastry or something uh, I always try to do it the best way, and when it isn't the best or isn't exactly what I wanted it to be, then I might as well throw it in the trash. That's how I feel. Like it's still what I cooked, it still works, it still tastes good, but it's not the best, and I know it isn't because I made probably a stupid mistake, and I probably know what mistake I made. And it doesn't matter if the pie actually tasted great because I'd still want to throw it in the trash because it isn't the best. Which is weird for me because, I mean, no, that in and of itself is not weird. That's very typical to me. But the part of it that's weird is that I don't want it to be the best because if it is the best, then that means that I have no room for growth, which isn't a good outlook to have in what you do in life. You should never be the best in everything you do. You should never be the best musician. You should never be the best chef. You should never be the best cleaner. Should never be the best at your work site. But the saddening thing that I've noticed is that, I mean, okay, the reason why I say you shouldn't be the best is because it means you have no more room to grow. It means you are the best. But the weird thing is when you are the best, but yet you understand that you could always grow. It's like yeah, it's like that mentality of like there's no one is their own worst critic except for themselves. Wait, I messed up the saying. No one criticizes yourself more than yourself. It's basically what every artist does, create art and then think it's still trash, even though it probably isn't. And that's what I mean, I am the best in certain things I do. I know it. I know there's no one around me specifically who does certain things better, but I don't like it because I always personally know that I could do better. There is always better. But perhaps that's like a selfish mentality to have because if you are the best, then how could you ever be better than being the best? I don't know. It's kind of a weird thing to think about. Like as of recently, I've started picking up cooking a lot more. Like started about a year ago, but I've just been I mean as time goes on and as I have more money to do these things, it'll obviously grow because I want to change my life from what it currently is of me going out and getting food to just being able to cook the food at my own house and be happy with what I cook because I go out and I eat food and the food I eat is good, but it's costly and I could do it myself and probably do it better, which is what I want to get to because then I won't be spending money going out. I won't be taking that time out of my life to do that. I'll be instead putting that time towards something good, which is gaining the skill of how to cook or cook that specific thing and also just learn more about myself in that frame of cooking. But the problem with me doing this is I realize that while I can become the best home cook that I know, I think the problematic thing about it is that as I most of everything I do in my life, I'm able to do in my own house. I don't have to go out, don't have to be social, don't have to go and talk to other people. I can all do it in my own house. And I think that's partially one of the things I don't like about me learning how to cook is because I realize that one of the reasons why I am still social is because I go out and get food. If it wasn't for that part, then I would probably just be even more of a hermit at my own house, which I don't want to do that because I like being social. I like talking to people. I mean, I have to talk to people because if you've noticed a couple of my videos, I want to go out dating, but if I'm not social, then that will never happen. Should, which, yeah, just a bit of information. You shouldn't be on dating apps. Like, you just shouldn't. Those are just toxic forms of dating. Shouldn't be there. Not good. That's just my own thoughts, but I mean, you do you. Whatever. But I don't want to do online dating because that's not. I'm not really gaining any skills by doing that because all I'm doing is dating. That's it. I'm not learning how to just be open and talk to random people who I will probably never see ever again. I'm gonna be losing that portion if I just do online dating because I'm on that service to do one thing, not many all other things. I'm just doing one thing. Like in cooking, I'm not specifically learning how to cook. I'm learning what ingredients do what to the food. I'm learning how much of that ingredient to that one food to make that food do what I want it to do. I'm learning multiple skills while doing cooking. But if I'm online dating, then there's only one thing I'm on there for, which is dating. Which, after I'm done dating, hopefully, because that's the end goal, right? Then that entire skill set is utterly useless because I'm not dating anymore. I have already achieved that portion. I'm done. Now I just need to maintain the relationship. You get? Whereas if I don't do online dating and I go out of my house, outside of my comfort zone, then I learn multiple skills. I learn how to talk for the sake of talking. I learn how to pick up on certain social cues or social differences among people. I get to see other people, learn what I like and learn what I don't like. This was a whole entire tangent on me talking about me not wanting to be the best at certain things. But, I mean, it does still connect because because with the whole entire dating thing, I don't want to be the best at online dating because after I'm done dating, then what was all that whole entire point of being the best? Like, I had that point for absolutely nothing. It was just a waste of time at that. I mean, waste of time, but only for that time. It wasn't point. It didn't have a point. It was just there. And I think I don't want to be the best at talking to people, because there's always people that you haven't met and haven't talked to. But if you're the best at doing that, then is there really anybody else who you don't talk to? Everything else would become stale at that point, I would feel, if you were the best at being social, best at talking to people. And you know what? Something I've recently come to terms with myself is I've just I've like nicked the corner in my own mind as to what the best is. Because if I were to humble brag here, I am the one of, no, I am the best at my job, my specific job. There's no one in that building who does better at a lot of things that I do than myself. And I know this because I'm constantly fixing what they do to my degree of doing good or being the best. But a little bit of cope that I have put into myself is I've curted the edge as to being called the best because I don't want to be called the best. And in doing so, I have since like coined the term for myself of just being better, which I don't like because I realize I'm just curting the edge. I'm curting the edge of what it truly is. I think, I think, what am I thinking? I maybe it's not cope. Maybe it's just me wanting to be better or always trying to be better. But see, that's the problem is I can't be better at my job if I am the best. There can't be any better if I am already the best. I mean, I guess from a people standpoint, then I am just better. But on my own scale, I can't be better if I am the best. There's no higher achievement on that. I have accomplished it all. So does that mean that I should just stop saying I am better? I don't think so, because I'd like to think that I can be better, and I just am better because that's how I view myself on a lot of things. Um, but I don't. Something I've realized is that I just say I'm better, even though a lot of it is just me being the best at certain things. It's kind of like cope fumes of me. Instead of me saying I am the best at my job, I'm just saying I'm better at certain things. No, I'm just the best at those things. That's it. There's no better. I just am the best at those things, which I like, but at the same time I don't, because then that means that there's no that I've reached the ceiling. There is no further up. Everyone else is below, whereas I'm at the top, which I don't like being there because then that just, well, that's too personal. I'm not going to get into that. But I think the problem I is when you've reached becoming the best, then you're automatically comparing yourself. And if you watched one of my latest videos, I slightly went over the fact that comparison is the thief of joy, which is sadly an addendum. Addendum, is that the right word? Addendum. Addendum. An item of additional material added to the end of the book or document. That's okay. I'm using the wrong word, I think. Pretty sure I'm using the wrong word. Wrong word. I can't English. But the problem is with myself is I'm always comparing myself to everyone. And I know it. I know I'm comparing myself to everyone. And that's one of my problems is I'm always comparing myself to everyone else. I mean, I just am. And I even have an example by me saying I am the best at these things. I'm comparing myself to people around me to certain things, which, while I wouldn't say is necessarily wrong, I can absolutely say that it is it's fucking up my life. It is absolutely fucking up my life because I'm the best at things, but I'm no more happy about it than I was previously. I'm just in this constant cycle of finding myself in an unhappy corner. It's a weird word, but it is what I think. Because I'm always comparing myself and comparing myself and comparing myself. And each, like, let me go back to the whole entire cooking thing. It's like me cooking. I'm always comparing myself to myself in that sense. Because I'm comparing what I made, which is not humble, in my own opinion, trash because it's not perfect. I'm comparing that version of myself to the version of myself who did it properly, who didn't mess up, who didn't have that flaw. I'm comparing myself not only to other people, but I'm also comparing myself to myself. I'm comparing myself to myself who's comparing that person to myself. It's an endless cycle of not being happy with what I have. It's it's a weird sense of not counting my blessings, even, I'd say. Because I just. Shoot. Sorry about that. I'm just. I'm stealing myself of any joy I could have. Like, the joy would be that I good. Wow, thank goodness. I made good food. It tasted good and it was good. But it could be better. I know it could be better. I should be able to do better because I know I can do better. And now I bring back the point of me saying that I am better. I just am better. Ugh, man. This video is a complete and utter clusterfuck. I'm gonna be honest. But, I mean, I hope you're with me, perhaps. Because this is a weird video, but I realized what my problem is on why I don't feel happiness anymore. But the problem is that I don't know how to remove that portion of me not being happy out. I don't know how to stop comparing myself. I mean, I'm not even comparing myself to other people anymore. I'm comparing myself to myself. Like, that's just a new entire level of just being a fuck up, I guess. You know, I- it's like, it's kind of like the statement of more money, more problems, just on a different position of like having skills. Like, when you are better or have more skills than other people, then you have more problems. Or in my sense, I just have the problem of not being happy with what I do anymore. One thing about myself is I play like games, like card games, board games, and sometimes it even it transfers over to video games. Is me saying I'm just better goes over to that as well. Like, I there is very seldom times that I ever actually lose in a game. I typically I have a reputation that I always just win. I don't lose. And you know what the problem is? It's like, for video games. I feel like a boomer every single time I say video games. But console games or just PC games, perhaps even. If I play a game online or with other people who I don't know, then I'm like, there's a good chance you'll see me at the bottom of the leaderboard, bottom of the board with nothing to my name. But whenever I play a co-op game or like a 1v1 or 2v2 or be whatever it is type of game, then I mean, at the very beginning, you'll see me at the bottom of the leaderboard in those games. But then, as time progresses, which can typically be about a month's time of me playing that game with them, you'll start. I'll start winning. I'll start never losing, which is my problem because I'm always comparing myself. I'm always looking at the leaderboard. I look at the beginning in the leaderboard and I see that I'm trash and I see that I'm doing bad. To which then, I don't know, I overcompensate in practicing or just training, or maybe it's not even that. Perhaps it's just me like learning how my friends play their game that makes me able to beat them. I don't know what it is, but it's something because over the course of about sometimes a month, between a month or 2 months, I'll just start winning, start never losing. And it's a crux. Because I don't, I don't lose games with my friends, but I don't like it because then with what has happened over and over and over and over again is that my friends just stop playing those games with me. And I don't blame them. I mean, it'd be kind of pointless to play a game with someone if you always knew that they were going to win. But it's a skill I have. I have the skill of just playing games and just being better in those games. The only problem is that I I just lose having that moment of enjoyment with my friends because then they stop playing. I don't lose friends over the games because I mean they're just games, but we stop doing those things. Stop doing the things that made us friends in the first place because there's no point to play with me if you already know what's gonna happen. I think I'm just wallowing in my own sadness over here. No, I am. I absolutely am. But I'm my own victim. Or no, I am my own problem. I am the problem. I am the problem in my life that's causing me problems. And that's a sad thing. It's sad. I don't have any other way to look at it. Cuz I'm the only person who is comparing myself to myself or to other people, which is in turn the only person who's robbing myself of having fun with other people. And yet I can't stop comparing myself to other people because I'm just better, which then brings back the point of me comparing myself. It's an endless loop of just fucking my own ass over here. And I have no clue as to how I would ever go about having fun, being happy, feeling enjoyment. Because if I'm being honest, it has been a whole minute since I've actually had fun playing a game with someone. I mean, if the game is new, like just came out, then and I'm playing with my friends, then yeah, we're gonna have fun. But I mean, I always know that over time we'll stop playing that game. I mean, typically out of just regular boredom of that game, because nowadays every game is like 2 minutes long, it doesn't go on for a long time, or it's not competitive in the sense of just going on for a long time. But I always realize that eventually it will lose its hype. It'll lose its enjoyment factor. It'll lose the portion of why I started playing or why we continued playing. And yet it always goes back to me on how the fact that I'm just ruining my own self sense of happiness. I am actively robbing myself, and yet I'm doing it blindly. I'm robbing myself blindly, and I don't know how to stop robbing myself because It's not even myself comparing myself to anymore. It's not even myself comparing myself to other people anymore. It's myself comparing myself subconsciously. I just do it. I hate it because it makes me unhappy. Like, I make food. It's good food. The only problem is that I could have done it better. You know? Ay, ay, ay. I don't know. Do you guys do you understand where what I'm going with this? Maybe you do. Maybe I'm the only person with this issue, or maybe we're all alike. I don't know. I just wanted to create this video to just talk, I guess, have a moment of self-reflection on this, because I I am my own problem, yet I have no idea how to not be part of that problem. You know, I live my life of always trying to remove every obstacle in my life. That's part of the portion of just being better. I always get rid of the obstacles and just push forward. Yet, how do I push forward and become the best part of myself if I am the problem? How do I push past myself if I am the problem? I don't, I don't know. I don't get it. I have no idea as to how to unmake myself the problem. And yet I'm living with myself. I don't understand myself, and yet I live with myself every day, every second, every moment. Maybe you get this. Maybe you don't. Go down in the comments, say something. I don't know. Say hi, I guess. If you enjoyed, hit the subscribe button, Uh, join the fellow bread bag community in the bread box, and also hit that like button so that other people who may not have seen this video can see it, so that perhaps they can join the bread box as well, because we need more bread, you know? We like bread. I like bread. I want more bread. Bread. And I hope to see you in the next video. But until then, have a good one.